2020 will be remembered for a lot of things: coronavirus, economic problems, and violence. That's true in Kansas City and nationwide. Final numbers will soon be turned over to the FBI, but early information already paints a clear picture.
Yeah, I just hope I ain't the voice of reason. I know niggas throwing the lines and flip that switch to demon. That red beam on your shirt, the last thing you're seeing. There's something about the way I talk, they got these bitches fiending. Yeah, been a couple years, but now a nigga leaning. Watch your mouth, just last week I left a nigga sleeping. Better quit with all them subtweets, cause I be peeping. Why you hating, nigga, shit just got me really thinking. Yeah. All these COVID cases got everybody masked up, but for the wrong occasion. I was sitting on them right outside the filling station. Bitch told me, nigga, chill, that's 25 you facing. I'm thinking, walk this nigga down like that blicky, get the fucking spraying. That nigga, what you saying? Send him to a bed where doctors playing operation. Thank God I didn't, could be sitting in the prison, but instead I'm getting money. Now I'm living high vision. Down Julio sipping. Yeah. Down Julio sipping. Thank God I didn't, could be sitting in the prison, but instead I'm getting money. Now I'm living high vision. Yeah. That's how we going out though. Yeah. Told you I'm done with it. And the last one, if you weren't here, you should have been here, nigga. You hear me? Let me tell you something, bro. I told you I'm going out with a bang, you hear me? I remember like 8-9 years ago, bro, I was sitting in the county jail, nigga. Thinking about how, nigga, I ain't had no bread, nigga. Then I bounced back, nigga. Now I'm married with a whole kid, nigga. Support my family, nigga. If you can't do nothing, nigga, let me tell you, you can do it, nigga. If that makes sense to you, I hope it do. Yeah. Man, listen. You hear me? Mental health, nigga, anxiety, nigga, all that shit you dealing with, nigga. I done been through that shit, nigga, on my mama, nigga, on my...
Chapman, that's 100 points.
Keep that bag, get through. Keep that bag, get through.
Same one for the club, same one for the club, same one for the club, same one for the club. I don't cry often, but when I do, it's like a hurricane. Niggas always see me joking, like I ain't heard of pain. That's what I fit up in my system, and why I'm swerving lanes. I can't keep living like I'm living, something gotta change. If you listen to what I'm saying and you feel every bar, you can cover up that hurt, but you can't hide the scars. I just think about my daddy and look up at the stars. You can't even meet my daughter, that shit is kinda hard. On my soul, I kill a nigga if you play with me. I just look at niggas stupid, like what you say to me. Sometimes I think about my life like ain't no saving me. Life's a bitch and then you die, that ain't okay with me. Don't compare me to these rappers, cause I don't rap for fun. I rap to speak my pain, so I don't bust my gun. Niggas talking all that shit when they ain't got the lungs. I'ma keep pushing, they ain't got the lungs. I'm just keep pushing, they ain't got the lungs. Painkillers just to ease my mind. I was lost inside my thoughts, so peace was hard to find. I was at my lowest point when I was fighting time. I was broken, moving sloppy, that's when I drew the line. We was talking wearing masks way before this COVID. I sat outside them niggas' houses, they ain't even know it. And free my nigga in the system, bro, he never folded. And wasn't never scared to shoot, shit we call him cold. I'm a dog up in this bitch like the Georgetown Hoya. I leveled up on niggas major and got it out the soil. You can't start cooking off the rip, you gotta let it boil. I got a daughter now, when I be damned if she ain't spoil you. I'm nothing like these other niggas, I'm in a different bracket. Don't fix your lips to ask me who I think the best at rapping. We battle tested in the field like generals and captains. I had to get up off my ass and had to make it happen. And I don't cry often, when I do, it's like a hurricane. Niggas always see me joking, like I ain't heard.
All right. We in there. We back. What's up, Boost?
What up? What up? Let's get it going.
Been out for a couple weeks. I'm Soy. That's Vita.
Yeah.
CTSPN, man. We back in the building. Been a minute. Good to be back, though. Been what,
Oh,
2
yeah.
weeks? 2 weeks? 2 weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, it did last week, but it didn't go too well. Damn signal cut out, kids. But kids was a problem, but signal cut out. I was like, man, getting that together though. As soon as we get everything right, it'll definitely be better. But I'm glad that we're back to normal, ready to go.
Yes, sir. We on here, man. Life comes at you fast. When it comes, can't do nothing but run it.
Yep. That's it.
Can't do nothing but run it. But man, what's happening? What's been happening the last week, last 2 weeks? What's happening with you, man? What's happening?
No, not too much. Not too much, man. Life doing what it usually does, finding a way to throw curveballs, taking it as we every day by day, day by day, doing what we can in that day, and just leaving the rest for the next. That is all.
Yes, sir. Hey man, I had a question for you, dog. I was talking to my wife about this on the ride home. What's the benefits of CMOS?
You would 100% have to ask my wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you would. My wife is she's been pushing us to see. Well, she hasn't been pushing us. She's been making sure that CMOS is a part of like our normal routine for a couple years now. Matter of fact, let me ask her so I can get an answer while we're right here. I even know I should know. Modest. Let me see if I can get her to come. Can you come here, please? Yeah. One thing I know is it's kind of tasteless. You can add it to anything though.
You said it's tasteless?
Yeah, it's pretty tasteless. Like if you drink it straight up, like my wife will make us take a spoonful. It's kind of slimy, tasteless, a little earthier. So we'll add it to stuff for the kids. So I had a question for our stream today. What are the benefits of CMOS? Would you like to join us and say, okay. Okay, what are the benefits of CMOS?
It helps with your thyroid. It helps with muscle recovery. It helps with
Helps with your thyroid, helps with muscle recovery,
it helps with your immunity.
It
has 100 and well, it has 98 minerals that are made up of the body.
98.
That's dope.
Didn't know that.
Well, we have 101, and it helps with sex drive, energy.
Does it help with like mucus breakdown? And
Does it help with music breakdown?
Like mucus breakdown?
Just basically, it helps with almost everything. Like it's so many benefits. Like you have to look it up.
It's an all-in-one type of.
And that's dope. Tell her thank you.
Yeah,
I've been curious about that.
Yeah, she gets it like anytime we're empty, she goes grabs one. So we always have some around the house. Always has some around the house. She's from her sister too. They're very big proponents of healthy lifestyles as much as possible. So like natural, like I said, we try to do as much stuff as possible naturally. You know, kids taking vitamins and tablets and all that stuff.
So I'm gonna have
Yeah,
to wrap with you after this.
I myself am ready to take a diet too. I've been like, I'm not even gonna lie. Right before this, I threw up. Like, I'm having a lot of like, I don't know. I know I'm not eating. I'm eating weird because working out makes me eat weird. I don't like eating before I work out, and I really like to eat afterwards. So like, I get up 4:30, go work out, get done working out. I have my energy drink, like a Gatorade or two, some water. Like I'll just drink, and then about 9:30, I'll get hungry, and then I'll just be trying to eat nonstop from then to then. But I don't watch what I eat. Like I'll just
grubbing
chips and cheese, leftovers from last night, tacos, waffle ice cream. It don't matter. Whatever I can grab to eat, I can eat. I'm not monitoring it. I'm just eating. And so I told we had a conversation this weekend. Like maybe I need to take a point in season and just like 100% discipline and eat only certain things. I was considering what we call a Daniel's fast. 21 days, no meat, no sweets, no sugars, only fruits, vegetables. Yeah, fruits, vegetables, nuts, juices, like no soda, no coffee, no energy drink, stuff like that. Just to see if there was a way that I could possibly like clean out my system, reset myself, and then from there start to develop better natural habits of eating.
Oh damn.
'Cause yeah, so I was definitely considering doing that, but I know that takes a lot. It mainly takes the discipline, and
Yeah.
I think that's the main part that I have to get through with it too. So I'm pretty sure that I know I just need to do one for mental sake, just to be better disciplined in that
Yep.
area.
Ever since we got back from Vegas, I'm on like a reset. So I'm trying
Yeah.
to reset for the next 6 months.
Yeah,
4 or 5 months, really, 4 or 5 months, just till we get to Cream City. Trying to
Yeah.
drop some more weight, but man, did I feel it coming back. And
Oh,
I
damn.
didn't even eat terrible. I just ate over my calories because I've been on a calorie deficit. So I ate over my calories. I came back and I tried I'm getting back into it. Today's day 2 officially, getting
Yep.
back into my calories and working out. Man,
So like I'm
it's tough.
also to the point too. Like Nana, she takes lunch to school. My kids see her pack a lunch. They see me usually pack a lunch or attempt to. And so now everybody wants lunch boxes. So I think like, you know what? I'm buying everybody lunch boxes. I'm gonna get our stuff set up. I usually don't buy a water bottle. Like, us, I'll just take like whatever last bottle I drink out of and just use it for water. But I think now,
Yep.
like, now I need to go buy me an actual bottle that can help me to make sure that I'm disciplined throughout the day.
I'll say I've been using
Just
this
like,
for like 6 weeks.
yeah, just for like now you just need to, because I know if I pay for one, like actually go pay for one, I'll make sure I like be up to date and keep up with it. So I'm with you too. I was on the same thing. Like, man, maybe I need to take from now until we have our time in Vegas just to be like, all right, find my gaps to where I can really lock in. I know when we go out to Baltimore for the game, Deuce already has a restaurant he wants us to try out. So I know for a fact that we're gonna go eat there. Like I know that for a fact, but that's kind of like the only place that we really had spoke about going to eat. But he says he's already been there. He was like, "Yeah, we got to pull up here." So I'm like, all right, bet.
So
Yeah, I need to take that for myself.
we're gonna get it, man. We got some time. Got some time. Accountability for sure. But that's what's happening, man. Let's hop into it and recap week 8. Just a quick review of week 8. I'll pull all the games up on the screen. We'll just go through ones that stand out to you, ones that you want to talk about. First one being Ravens Bucks to start off Thursday night football.
Um,
Bucks look bad, bro. They look bad.
Bucks-
They look down bad.
this is where I say like the offensive line, I think is just truly catching up with them.
Mhm.
I think the offensive line, I think everything's kind of tapping out. And for the first time on my end, I think I have to give a lot of more credit to Bruce Arians and how he was able to keep some stuff together.
Mhm.
I know I was always more critical of Bruce Arians because he was great up to a point and then he got past that point. But to see how it's looking for the first 8 games without him not being head coach in the same roster, I have to give him credit for the role he played in the Super Bowl year of tightening them up, like kind of sustaining them last year. Because man, I really feel like his presence and his leadership like is being missed right now with this. Ravens. 2 things became true for me this like really watching in this game is number one, um, Lamar and Greg Roman both have offensive limitations. Like they both absolutely have offensive limitations because the first half they did not run the ball. The second half, when they did run the ball, they was killing it, controlling the game, doing all of that. So it's very, very evident that like Lamar, his receiving core, Greg Roman, they're just not like I don't think they're ever going to hit this cliff of like where we think they should probably be as a passing game. Just okay, you got to lean into your run. You do that. You've been one of the best teams doing it over the last couple years, but yeah, they really have to figure something out. I don't think they have to figure something out. They just got to hope that they stay in situations that keep them from having to chase a team that can put them in their positions. So we'll see what added Roquan Smith. I think I feel like adding Roquan Smith was the same thing for like the Chiefs adding Kadarius Toney. I think it's just a piece of candy moment. Like, all right, you added a dude, but that's not what you needed. That's
Yeah,
not what you needed
not
at
at
all. That
all.
wasn't.
You need some
Yeah, that
more.
wasn't.
You need some more
Yeah,
receivers out there, man.
you avoiding the issue. Like you're avoiding the issue of what's really wrong. So, and even still, Roquan has to get paid after this year. So, like, from a general manager's point, like, you gonna trade for him just to let him go to free agency, or just to try to hopefully push your luck into making a deeper playoff run. So, it's just one of the things. I think the Bucks, yeah, like the Bucks look bad.
Yeah, number one thing for me is Tom Brady throwing the ball 44 times. Like
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette runs the ball. Altogether, they got 15 rushes. 14 if you want to take out Tom Brady and Julio's little carry. 13 carries between two running backs. What are you doing? If you want to create some time for Tom Brady, you got to find a way to establish the run. There was the big drop by Mike Evans, wide open touchdown. That probably would have changed a little bit of the game, but I don't think it would have changed the overall end result, just because if you're not running the ball, man, you can't really do nothing. You said it yourself. The Ravens trying to throw the ball in the first half wasn't cutting it. Established them in the second half, that opened up a lot of things for Lamar. So,
Yep.
I think that's going to be the key for them.
They love to overcompensate too by constantly running that screen game. Starting to realize a lot of people who can't run the ball is compensated with that screen game. And I think the NFL is just starting to get played out on it, like coordinators as a whole. Like, nah, you got to run screens. The ball. Yeah, like you got to run the ball. You got to run the ball.
Yeah.
So, does this game, being at the halfway point for either one of them, does this game change the trajectory of either one of these two teams for you?
Yes, I think we're far enough into the season for that, for this to be an impacting win and loss for both teams. Especially the Bucks coming off losing to Carolina the way they lost in Week 7. They just got smacked. Like, yes, it's a divisional game. Yes, they know each other. Yes, they see each other twice a year. But at the same time, like, you're Tom Brady, bro. You have this expectation to run the table in your division. You didn't do that.
Yep.
You got smacked the week after Christian McCaffrey gets traded, and a couple weeks after the head coach got fired. So you got an interim head coach. You got two running backs, Deontay Foreman, who had a pretty good year last year with New York. And then I think he was with Baltimore for a little bit, but he had a pretty good year. He comes out and he dookie on y'all.
He was running.
And then the Ravens, I think this is definitely one of the wins that they needed, especially with the Bengals taking another L yesterday. Yesterday. And then the Browns kind of making their runway for Deshaun Watson eventually to play.
Yeah.
Which I don't think is going to make a difference, but.
So one thing that I did hear when they played that game is the Ravens played one game in the next like 23 days because they got this time off. Then they play Week 9, and then they have a bye, and then they play Carolina. So they'll have a lot of rest, a lot of time to, at a critical part of the year, to reevaluate themselves, and we'll see how they come out. The Carolina game, we'll see what they look like. The Carolina game. Especially coming off of a bye week, what do they decide to change and do as a whole over the next couple of weeks? Because I think that's going to show just how well the offense can evolve and put something into their bag.
So that's a pretty damn good defense that they're going to be playing against over there in Carolina.
So we'll see what they can decide to do.
But that was our Thursday game. Any of the games going into Sunday you want to look at, you want to cover?
Broncos Jags was interesting. Broncos Jags is interesting. Even when the Jags was up, I still felt like they wasn't going to win.
Man, you got that feeling too?
Yeah, even when they was up, I never felt like they was going to win the game. Physically, like being able to kind of watch them and see them. Travis Etienne was who I thought he was going to be. Really, really good back. Made James Robinson expendable. Trevor Lawrence still has a lot he has to work on. The team is just young. You know what I'm saying? The team is young, but the more we keep playing, like I told you a couple weeks ago, I was telling, hey, T-Law's that dude, and I think he's still going to be a great quarterback, but yeah, bro's not clean. Yeah, no. The bro is not clean. He's not clean. And I had a guy who had mentioned something like that. He was like, Trevor Lawrence threw the most screen passes in college. Like he was like, so his numbers were extremely faded because it wasn't just about most screen passes by a little. Like he threw the most screen passes by a lot. And he was like, I think a lot of his issues are being masked. And I think they're starting to come to form here. I'm really starting to think I don't think he's careful with the ball. Like
Yeah.
up to this point, he's proven he's not careful with the ball. But I think all the arm talent is there. I just think he's not careful with the ball. So we'll see how the year finishes out, and then we could get a bigger sample size if he cleans it up. If not, then yeah, he long hair Matt Stafford. You know what I'm saying? Like that's it.
He got the arm talent of like a Justin Herbert, but the
Yeah, no, I
decision
told you
making of a Matt Stafford, because it's like
yeah, but yeah,
I can throw the
he's not smart
rock,
yet.
so
Yeah,
let
yeah,
me throw
he
the
don't.
rock.
Yeah, yeah, that's fact. So they say arm talent wise, he's got it. Size, all that stuff. I do think at some point mentally we'll see how it hits for him and how if he can improve that. If not, if so, then there's definitely going to be a ceiling on him. So
Broncos pulled it out. I mean, 3-5, two under 500 teams, two whatever teams right now to me.
yeah,
Not really much else to talk about. What you got?
we'll just see how Denver finishes out the year. I think they've taken themselves out the playoff race. I think it's just I don't see this team pulling it together enough to be a 7 seed.
Yeah.
So I think the best thing that they could do for themselves for the rest of the year after they traded Bradley Chubb today was use the next 8-9 games to find your identity, to perfect whatever craft you're going to perfect, because 90% of these people are still going to be locked into the roster next year. So figure out who you are this year, work out the kinks, and get it ready to go for next year.
Panthers Falcons, man, that was
Yeah, that was a crazy game just to watch.
so regardless of the end result,
Yeah.
taking away the wins, right? Obviously, y'all are not a playoff team. You know that. I think
Nope.
all the Panther Nation know that. But I think there was a lot to take away from this game, right? It's a division rivalry. Y'all see them twice a year. But I think there was a lot to take away from this game with PJ Walker there at quarterback. I seen somebody say, like, he played elite. Like, oh, I wouldn't go that far.
No,
He
no,
played
no, no, no.
really good football.
PJ is a backup.
Yeah,
That man is a backup.
he's
Like, he is a
absolutely a
backup.
backup. But I
Yeah,
think
but
he played good football.
yeah,
Like,
yeah. He even the week before when we beat Tampa, he was just 16 for 22, 177, 2 touchdowns.
yeah.
And if he would have made the plays earlier in the game he was supposed to, then the game wouldn't have been here. You know what I'm saying? We was in control. He threw that. I mean, I'm not gonna be mad at him for throwing a pick six on the screen. They came back, got a field goal, but
Yeah,
like
that
he
was just
missed
a
a lot of
great play.
yeah, he made a lot of mistakes in the first half that if like, yo, bro, if you would have hit DJ them 3 times that they drew him up to be open, there would have been 6 more points on that board before halftime. PJ's a backup. This roster isn't going to change. The team isn't going to change. It's been what I told y'all that I thought it was going to be. I hope for a good O-line. We got a good O-line. I hope that DJ Moore was still this top 20 receiver, going to be a top 10 receiver. I still think he's waving in that line, especially the way they've been using him the last couple games. The defense is the defense, and we constantly missing people. It's just asking ourselves the question is like, is Steve Wilkes a good enough coach to earn a year? And what exactly we're going to do at quarterback next year? Because that was my biggest frustration was I knew whoever was a quarterback this year, 90% chance wasn't going to be a quarterback next year. And that'll be another year in a row we're recommitting to a new quarterback. So there's no difference. Like I can do anything with this team for the year because everybody played to the expectation that I thought they could play. We was short because of Matt Rule. I 100% believe that. I see players who were Deontay Foreman was on the roster all year, had 7 carries under Matt Rule. How does Terrence Marshall Jr. on the roster for 2 years had his best performance yesterday? Laviska Shenault, but like players who we was starting to get down on, now we're being put in a position to win. Like now we're being put in a position to play competitive games and actually live up to their potential. So like that, I'm cool with.
You ain't got 35 touches for CMC throughout the whole
Nah,
game in
nah,
passing
you
and,
don't.
and rushing. So
Yeah, so I'm good. There's really nothing this year that could change to change my mind about anything. I'm going into next year for the rest of this year and into next year is head coach quarterback because I really believe everything else on the team is good. Head coach and quarterback. If they fumble it there, it'll be another wasted year, all that stuff. But yeah, head coach and quarterback, PJ Walker is a certified backup. Deuce is on team, Matt Corral. He wants to see Corral get the go next year. I don't want to see Corral get the go next year if I can get Bryce or CJ. So yeah, like that's it. And
Man.
if I can't get them, hey Matt, full go. We'll put the draft pick somewhere else. So Atlanta, Kyle Pitts had a good game. He had a really, really good game. Um, Mariota, I think if they could sustain with him for one more year, they was missing a lot of people too. They
Yeah.
was missing AJ Terrell. They was missing people too. I think if Atlanta could hold the ship with Mariota possibly for one more year and continue to build up the roster, I do think that they can still constantly build a new team. They still got
Yeah.
Desmond Ritter sitting in the tuck and all of that stuff too. So I'm gonna be a lot interested in what they decide to do. You know, Cordero Patterson wasn't even playing yesterday.
Yeah, I think he's on the
So
IR until next week.
yeah. So we play them again in 2 weeks on a Thursday night. I don't think that game's gonna change too much. I'm shocked that so many points came up off this board in the second half. It was like funny. But I think Atlanta does have a well coached team that's like helping put them in positions. Um, I would I don't think they can move off of Marcus this year. Like after this year, I think they should keep him. Maybe you bring in another quarterback that you like, and kind of keep growing this team because there is
Yeah.
some pieces there, man. There really is some pieces.
I think Marcus Mariota's in a situation where it's like kind of like what we talked about with Tua and Jalen. You give him some weapons and you figure out what he can do. I mean,
Yep.
it's not like you're putting yourself in a position to go and get a quarterback next year. I mean, you're not. You're not putting yourself in that position, especially with everything that went down with Flores over the last year, right? Like nobody wants to be in that position now.
Yep.
So
The one thing that I could say that I was most impressed about with the game overall was that both coaches and both players played to win.
yeah,
Like both sides really wanted to win. So it let me know like they're like neither one of these franchises like they don't like where they're at either. Like the coaches and the players, like they want to win and they want to be in a playoff game and they want to do something for themselves and for their fans. So that made me feel like, okay, you got a team who you know and a coach who's like, nah, we're not doing that stuff. So that was like, all right, cool. I appreciated that watching the games.
cool.
I didn't watch none of the Dallas Chicago game. Like I really didn't. I caught some stuff.
It was an ugly game.
Yeah, I had a feeling it was going to be an ugly game. I had a feeling that, like, even looking back, I don't feel like the score really talks about what the game really looked like.
It could have been
Um,
63-7, bro.
I'm still extremely like underwhelmed with Dallas as a whole. Um, I still don't know really what to make of. Like, I know defensively they're there. Offensively, like it's. I know we keep like saying this, but like, let's see if they can get out of their own way to be like, let's just play complementary football to
Yeah.
what we need to do for our defense.
I'm
glad.
To me, Dallas is too flashy, right? They do too much to find a flash. Like
Yeah.
you got a Tony Pollard who could damn well be your lead running back. I don't care what nobody says. He could be your lead. He could be your number one. And then you go and figure out a way to go and target CeeDee Lamb as many times as you do because you want him to be a perennial number one.
Yep.
It's like there's so many other things you could be doing to make this team beat the teams you should be beating. Yes, you're 6-2. But what happens when y'all go and play other teams that have a winning record that are stacked? I'm not taking away from Dallas's 6-2 at all. They won the games they were supposed to win.
Yeah.
You got Dak back. How can you continue to protect him? 21 of 27 is great. That's amazing. I thought they was going to make him throw the ball 40, 50 times like they usually do.
Yeah. He said, I know Dallas got a couple, I think a defensive touchdown and stuff that was like kind of like a knock in the wind because Fields could have touched him and down that play. The Bears, I know people are questioning some of their moves, but I think the moves that they're making are the hard moves that a GM was supposed to make. Robert Quinn, you traded him. You had to, though. Like, you wasn't going to keep him. You knew he already requested a trade, and he was balling out, and you're still 3-5. Roquan Smith, one of the contract. You tried to keep him. He was balling out. You're still 3-5. Edge rusher is important, but Robert Quinn's on the older end. You're not going to get him for 3 more years. Roquan Smith, he's going into his prime, but let's be honest, you like
You ain't got time to
linebacker.
sustain his prime.
You don't have time to sustain his prime, so you have to get off of that. Bringing in Chase Claypool, top 3 wide receiver in the league, like it's a help to I feel like it's a good shot in the dark We know Claypool is we know who Claypool is. But what I think Claypool does for them is it just helps to bring in another weapon, and they don't have to go into next offseason looking for another one. They
Yeah.
can be like, all right, we got Claypool, we got a lot of money. We're able to now add another weapon to this to see what Fields has, what Claypool has. It's a low risk contract because we got him for the rest of this year and next year. We ain't really got to pay him too much money, and then we could figure out from there. So I think I told you I have my eyes on this Bears GM to see what he does in building this team over the next couple years. So I don't be shocked if coaching for the Bears really pushes Justin Fields to his limit. Like if they're like, "No, we're not protecting you. Like you gotta, you know what I'm saying? Even though that O-line is bad and they don't be helping them, they gotta see what they got out of him." I feel like they're in the Denver situation. We need to figure out what we got from our roster going into the offseason so we know what we could do.
Yeah. I think GMs are starting to get the inclination of look at what Miami did. Look at what Philly did. They surrounded him with viable options to be able to show your talent.
That's all it takes.
I think GMs just need to continue to listen to that. I mean, I'm just a dude sitting on the couch, but like I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm seeing the results. Tua come back healthy. That's the next game we'll talk about. He has two weapons. He's using them. They said Teddy B was just as good as Tua. We saw that wasn't it.
That wasn't it.
Jalen has his weapons. Burrow lost. He lost his main weapon for the next couple of weeks. We saw that yesterday.
Well, let's see how he's looking.
We saw that. You know we saw the impact of that.
That's always been my biggest thing with Burrow is, and maybe the best way I can say it is maybe Burrow's starting to go into the territory I felt about Russell Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
Is your team, all of your team's success was not because you was playing the best. It was because Jamar Chase was playing at a top 3 wide receiver level. T. Higgins was playing at a top 5 wide receiver level. Trey Hendricks was playing at a top 5 defensive end level.
Was killing it.
Joe Mixon was playing at a top 5 running back level. Logan Wilson was playing at a top 5 linebacker level. Jesse Bates was playing as one of the best safeties in the league. But you got all the attention and all the credit.
Yep.
And that's my only problem with the Joe Burrow stuff. It's like you said, you miss Jamar Chase, and you're like, damn, Joe Burrow looks like he doesn't look that good.
You out here trying to throw the T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and it's not the same. Same thing with Justin Herbert, bro. You lost Keenan Allen for a handful of weeks to a hamstring.
Now it's starting to
look
bad.
Real regular. You lost Mike Williams now. You look real regular.
We've said it before. A young quarterback will not make up for a bad front office and bad coaching.
Nope.
They won't. They will only set all y'all back. So that's almost the reason why I like the Lions, because the Lions building an old line, getting weapons, better defense, and they're seeing what they got here in Dan Campbell. So when presumably they go quarterback, you know that the quarterback's at least going to be going into a better roster than they would have 2 years ago.
Going into a great situation.
Yeah. So imagine if 2 years ago, instead of taking Swool and last year taking Aiden Hutchinson, the Lions would have took Mac Jones and, Kyle Pitt or something. You'd be like, damn, this team is depleted somewhere else. And that's, we said it last time when Pollard was here. It's almost like the Lions are playing competitive close games and then being like, hold up, we still a year away. We still
still need a quarterback next year. We're pretty nice.
Yeah, so y'all go up 27. Yeah, y'all go up 21-8. Cool. Damn, it's all right. Lose this one. We still need a top 3 pick. So it's funny. I don't see the videos. I did the mock draft stuff and on the thing. And as you're doing the mock draft, the board doesn't change until the second quarterback comes off. And then everybody's like, well, how far can one drop? How far can one drop before I got to make a phone call? And that's what they're doing. I don't think the Lions want to be outside the top 5 in the back half of like 7, 8, 9, 10 to where they got to use capital to go up to pick up a Bryce or a CJ, Yeah. I know we got the next game, Cardinals Vikings.
It's actually the Dolphins.
Dolphins. Yeah, I thought we kind of touched that with that. My bad. Nah,
I think the biggest thing with that one is Cousin Tua, man. Cousin Tua is continuing to show why he has the coach that believes in him, some weapons surrounding him. They just traded Chase Edmonds away because they ain't never used him. They got Raheem Mostert.
They just picked up Jeff Wilson.
They picked Jeff Wilson from the Niners because they don't need him, and
Yep.
they got the from the Bears, Roquan Smith.
Yep.
Oh no, not Roquan Smith. They got Bradley Chubb. Bradley Chubb. So they got Bradley Chubb. So it's
So
like
the Eagles, I mean,
we're
not the
all
Eagles,
in, bro. We're all in.
Yeah, they're in. Which is also funny because Jeff Wilson was killing it for the 49ers, and 49ers get CMC, and like, we don't need you anymore.
Man, they
Like,
said,
bro,
get
y'all
out of here.
scandalous as hell, bro. Y'all scandalous as hell. Dolphins, man. There's a conversation that needs to be had. Who's Tyreek needs to be a dark horse MVP front runner offensive player of the year.
This man,
I missed it. I missed it. The homie Earl, he says, hey, you need to think about Tyreek. And I was like, damn, I really do. Like, I really, really do need to be thinking about Tyreek being a dark horse MVP and front runner for offensive player of the year. Like it really needs to be said, man. I know I've been a little tougher on Tyreek. I never denied his talent, but I did say that his production would drop off going over here because I felt like I said at this point of the year, don't be shocked if Waddle's the leading receiver. Ooh, this man is 200 yards over the next person in damn near stats. Tyreek is killing it, man.
He's already got 69 receptions in 8 games.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill is
17, he had 111. Like
it's amazing to see how he's playing in a different scenario.
Crazy.
Looking just as good, man. So like big ups to Tyreek Hill, man. That dude is a beast. Jalen Waddle is an absolute beast. Mike McDaniels, I saw a funny clip of him this morning. The offensive line got like his third false start or something. And he just went over to his O-line coach and was like, bro, effing fix that, and walked off. I was like, yeah, I was rolling, bro. It was just like a record. He was like, bro, effing fix that, and just walked off. And the climate coach is like, hey, yeah. I was like, it was just so funny, bro, to see that, man. Yeah, man, I'm glad Tua's back. I'm glad to see that them playing at the level that they played. Since he's been back, man, the offense just looks different. People have got to, again, like you said, what the difference looks like when you invest in weapons, give them a little bit of better coaching. And the one thing that kind of changed my perspective on some things and like my respect for Tua is when they played the Steelers, they asked him the question, did you talk to Brian Flores? And he said no. No explanation. I was like, no. And just moved on. Nobody said nothing after it. And for me, it kind of gave me like a 2-ring photo of like, damn, as much as I think of Brian Flores, no matter what happened, like you was really trying to get Tua out of there. And the fact that Tua didn't try to like cover it up, he's just like, nah, I didn't talk to him. That's it. And then that's it. So like, 'cause I know I saw the video of him showing love to a lot of Miami people before Brian Flores was kind of talking to them. And for them not to talk was kind of like, okay, you know what I'm saying? But it also shows, man, when you have a coach that believes in you and is going to put you in the right situation, that's you know what I'm saying? It could change the world. It could change the world for it. Like you said, Nick Sirianni with Jalen Hurts. When you got a coach who's going to look with you, who's going to ride with you, and he's going to put you in the situation, it changes the world. And I think everybody's trying to find their Mahomes, but Mahomes and Andy is a perfect match. Allen and McDermott is a perfect match. You know what I'm saying? Sirianni and Hurts, you're looking like a perfect, like you have to find what matches you and start to build around that. Yeah. And so I'm very like, I love to see that when teams build that type of way. And the fact that they turned all them picks into Tyreek Hill, Waddle, and Bradley Chubb, like you said, they're all in. They're all in. They're all in. The Dolphins is ready. They got another game with the Bills, I believe. They're gonna have to take that game if they want to take the division, but I don't think nobody's gonna want to see them as a 5th seed.
Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. The Dolphins are undefeated when Tua starts and ends the game.
I believe so.
They 5-0.
That's why I said. Yeah, that's why I said that. I can't remember, but I said that stat last year of like Tua compared to Kyler and all his stats, yards, everything trumped him. And he was like, out of all the quarterbacks we put over him, he has a higher winning percentage than him. Like people, it's just people they're lazy and they use this unnecessary optics I don't believe in. So big ups to Tua. Big ups to the Lions too. You know, they're making life entertaining. And I really, really want I almost want to see the Lions have the number 1 pick next year.
Yeah,
I want to see what they would do. Like I want to see what they.
I think they're gonna be like, yo, who's picked 2 through 5? Yeah. What y'all need?
Yeah.
We know what we gonna get, and whatever quarterback y'all take, we taking the other one.
The other one. So that's the funny part. Like I almost want to see the Lions with the number 1 pick. So that's kind of.
It look like they fighting the Raiders for that. But we're gonna get to the Raiders here soon.
They are. They really are.
Cardinals Vikings. DeAndre Hopkins went off in his second game back. 12 receptions, 159 yards, 1 touchdown.
D-Hop is the mellow of the NFL.
Man, that's so perfect.
His game's never gonna change. It was Larry Fitzgerald, D-Hop, they all built mellow, they all built from the same breed. His game's never gonna change.
He gonna get
Yeah,
you
yeah,
buckets.
he's gonna in any scenario, he's gonna get what you need him to get.
That's crazy.
So Cardinals, you know how I feel about Cliff, but when
Yep.
I watch them, they are defensively shorthanded, but I'm impressed by some of their players stepping up. I just think they're shorthanded. I just think they need to be better on that side of the ball. Let's see how they invest and change up for the second half of the year. It's not a far stretch to get hot and to finish the year and to take a spot up there. As good as the 49ers looked last week, they did soil the week before against the Falcons. So there is a roller coaster ride with them. There is a window for the Cardinals to get in there. Told you, I think Kyler Murray is a top talent, man. Dude is a beast, man. He just, God, these little mental mistakes he makes, I think on his end, on coaching's end, but seeing D-Hop communicate with him that night when they played against the Saints, I think D-Hop's going to be the calming factor for them to kind of level that out and to figure that out. So I would love to see Cliff and Kyler take this part and make a playoff push. Like, I want to see them get in there and make that playoff
I think they
push.
change it up. I think this is going to be the year that they change it, right? We always talked about the last few years. They have a great start and then they taper off. I think the best thing that could have happened to the Cardinals is D-Hop getting suspended for that first 6 games.
Yeah.
That was probably the best thing that could have happened to this team. Why?
Yeah.
Because now you got a fresh D-Hop. You got a battle-tested Kyler Murray who's been out there for 6 weeks without your number one receiver.
Yep.
I do still think they need to fix their running game and run the damn ball more.
Yep.
Granted, this game didn't call for that because they needed to throw the ball.
Yep.
I think they'll finish off the year pretty strong. I think the 49ers find a way to end up in a wild card spot regardless of all the weapons they got.
Yeah.
Because Shanahan is going to continue to Shanahan, and you still got Jimmy Garoppolo, who has a very, very clear ceiling.
Yeah.
Regardless of the weapons he has. Yes, you have some amazing weapons, but your ceiling is very, very clear.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
still not sold on Minnesota any way, shape, form, or fashion. Don't care about it.
no.
Yeah, just not sold on them. Not sold on them. I'm really not. I'm just not sold by any means on the Vikings whatsoever. Like, I'm just not. So
I don't. They're that team every single year that is just. They're the Utah Jazz of the NFL.
Yeah, you just don't like them.
Your regular season is pretty damn okay, and you get to the playoffs. If you make it there, you're just like, bleh.
Just bum out. So I agree with you. I 100% agree with you. I agree with you. Oakland Raiders. No, you said no. They're from the Vegas. No, you niggas is from Oakland. You niggas is from Oakland. Y'all from Oakland. Y'all looking bad out here, bro. Y'all looking bad out here,
bro.
So Rich Eisen, I was listening to Rich Eisen yesterday, and he said that he's expecting a phone call from ownership. He wants an apology because he and myself all tried to put stock in believing in Derek Carr. You guys looking bad out here. You're not even neither one of our teams. Rich Eisen goes for the Jets. I rock with the Panthers. We try to show y'all some belief. Y'all got us looking bad out here because we try to tell people to believe in y'all. So I'm going to tell you what to do, Raiders, to sustain your season. Call it in this year. Call it a wrap. It's okay. In the draft, you find your successor to Derek Carr. Next year, this offseason, all your stock in the defense. Don't you put a damn thing on offense. But all your stock in the defense, get a second year in McDaniel's system, then just maybe you'll be able to catch the Chiefs next year. But it's going to be after, and whoever you invest in and whoever McDaniels chooses to be his guy after Derek Carr leaves.
Hey, Josh Jacobs.
I'm telling you.
Pay that man.
No, they're not paying him. I think Josh ain't coming back.
Ooh.
Yeah, once they turn down that option and the way he playing, he taking money somewhere else.
That's
there's other people with bigger pockets than what Oakland would. Yeah, Oakland than what Oakland can offer.
Hey,
there's people with bigger pockets.
Josh Jacobs go to Miami, dog.
Look, I could tell you this right now. We're looking at a team right now. He could go to the Texans. The Texans could pay him to go over there. Chicago could pay him to go over there if they want to do that route. But I don't believe
right now. Philly got some deep pockets right now.
Philly got deep pockets. There's people who got pockets who out of pity could just be like, yo, we'll take them. We'll give you 3 years guaranteed. Like, that's it. That's all you got to pay a running back for. 3 years guaranteed. Give him their money in 3 years. Don't
And
give them no 4, no
they
5.
put Jarrett Stidham in the game, but Devontae Adams had 1 catch on 5 targets for 3 yards.
Yeah. Yeah. The Saints, man, talking to J10, he's just out on these quarterbacks. He's
They
out
look
on these
so lost,
quarterbacks.
bro.
Yeah, he's out on these quarterbacks. He's ready to find his guy. We was joking the other day. I said, hey, man, this is sometimes when you got to thank God for not giving you what you want. I said, for 2 years, you was telling me Russ was coming to the Saints. And for 2 years, I bet you breakfast. And for 2 years, I said, you owe me 2 breakfasts, bro. You still ain't paid me. So he got to give me 2 breakfasts. I said, but you should be glad that Russell ain't come to New Orleans. So he's out on them as a team. But I think New Orleans is potentially in the worst position of any team in the NFL.
Bro, I think we own their pick next year.
No, they don't have picks. They don't have money. They got to start moving people off. That's the reason why y'all got Charles Gardner-Johnson off of them, because they couldn't afford to pay him. Alvin Kamara, he's going to have to be another guy who probably will be moved this offseason. They are in such a hole, bro, that they literally, like, I don't know how they're going to get out of it, but there's really no way to get out of it and to be competitive. So they might take my mind is blown by the people that had them a 10-win team. But I think this is probably what we're gonna have to see from them, because Sean Payton screwed them over. I told y'all when that man left, that's why I was so mad. People be talking, don't bring that man around. That man had 1 bad year and he left them in this. Nah, don't do that. Yeah,
right,
he got up out of there. He got up out of there. He got up out of there, man.
Raiders are buns. Saints are buns. Derek Carr's buns. Andy Dalton's buns.
Yeah, they selling it. But Deuce did call the Red Raider getting some minutes, though. You know what I'm saying? I was like, bro, he was right, though.
He did,
Andy came in. Yeah, Andy did come in. So I can't hit on my guy. Patriots, Jets. Zach Wilson looked like everything I ever said he was supposed to be. Everything I knew he was going to be. I was so mad that people were selling him. I said, bro, threw for 120 yards in a win, and you want me to call him a franchise guy? Like, Brees Hall was backpacking, and you played against the Patriots, and people is ready to sell you up the road, bro.
Brees Hall hurt. You went and traded for James Robinson. You got Michael Carter, and now y'all can't do nothing.
Yeah. So the Jets are in the most funkiest position, man, because now you could bum out, but you risk Robert Saleh's job. Like, you risk his job.
He's a great coach.
Yeah, he's a great coach. You could bum out and you risk his job unless there's an understanding there. And I do believe that there's an understanding there. I believe the media doesn't want him there. I believe that there is an understanding in office that he could do the job and Joe Douglas could do the job. So, like, I believe in those 2 guys doing it. We've said taking Zach was the worst thing that they could have did. So unless Zach matures, which is so funny, we talk about people being hypocrites and we talk about 2-sided stuff. A dude who spent most of his time injured, had the mom issue with his, bangers, and then everybody, but like, we don't do that for other people. Like, if we're gonna be about being this line, we gotta be fair for everybody. I told you, man, he's a token white kid that got away with stuff, man, and I ain't agree with that. So I hope
he's a damn Johnny Manziel of the NFL right now.
All he is. That's all he is. So I hope that this doesn't affect a Sauce Gardner being that dude, Garrett Wilson being that dude, Brees Hall being that dude, Quentin Williams balling,
and his brother on the team together,
and his brother killing it. The O-line looking good. Like, bro, it's just now they are in a situation of they're having to evaluate Zach over the next couple games.
Let Joe Flacco play again.
Yeah, and if he's everything that I said he is, they're gonna be pissed off at the end of the year. So
are the Patriots as bad as we called them to be this year? I think they are. I think they are.
I really think they are. I think this is just Bill Belichick getting the best out of what he can, how he can, man. I really do think they are as bad as we say they are. We said 5 wins. They're 1 away from tying that. So we'll see if they break that. They are as bad as I do believe they are. Like, I really do think that. But they also gave J.C. Jackson a bump in pay, like we called. Like we called. Belichick's going to get corners paid. Don't pay Belichick corners. But yeah, I do think they are as bad as they are. We'll see how. I think Bill's got to take the whole no offensive coordinator stuff. I don't like right now. Josh McDaniels. We said it was It's a difference when you're the OC and when you're the head coach. Josh McDaniels had
Josh
this team.
McDaniels is not a good head coach.
Not a good head coach, but he's a good OC.
I'm gonna go back on. I said he would have been really, really good for what he had with the Raiders, especially with Devontae Adams, Josh Jacobs. I was wrong.
Yeah. So I don't. As an OC, my man's can make stuff work. As a head coach right now, it's just looking bad. So I think the Patriots need to take a look into themselves. I think the Patriots need to actually invest into. Go get Joe Brady from Buffalo, who Carolina let go, man. Go find you a young OC who can take reins of the controls. Go get you not a Ken Dorsey. Go find you a Ben Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Another OC that you can find that can come in and take this away from Bill. We know what Bill does on defense.
See if you can go get Eric Bieniemy.
Yeah, go find you an OC so like he doesn't have to do this. Because if you find you an OC that has to coach against Belichick and his defense every day, they're gonna get better. So like figure that out. But yeah, I think they are as bad as we said they are. They got off some stuff that, I'm not shocked about, but this isn't a team that's gonna make a playoff push, threat. We're just gonna have to see how they work out in the offseason with Max, man. I don't think Bill's afraid to move off of that fool.
He showed it already when he put what's the name in.
Yep.
Zappy. Steelers Eagles, man. I'm going to be very, very, very clear with this one. The number one thing that I was fearful for this far into the season that we have yet to see, I had the confidence that he could do it, but we have yet to see, was Jalen Hurts dominate with his arm. I haven't seen that all year. I've seen him make some great throws to some open receivers, right? He ain't never had to throw no dots because they're running the ball, they're controlling the game. This game against a pretty damn good secondary with Minkah Fitzpatrick back there, man, I just don't see anything wrong with this team right now, and I hate that this early. I hate that, but I love where we're going right now.
Now it's the perfect way to come out of a bye week against an inferior opponent, not secondary, not secondary opponent.
Opponent
supposed
overall.
to come, opponent overall. Like I said, the secondary is what we think it is, but opponent overall, you're supposed to come out rested. You're supposed to come out locked in, and you're supposed to dominate early. That's what you're supposed to do, and that's what we saw. The Eagles leading, I think, one of the top leaders in takeaways. You can't make mistakes with them. Pittsburgh, Najee Harris, bro, you got me looking bad in these streets.
Man,
you got me looking bad in these streets. I'm ready to call for your job for friend of the podcast, Jay Warren. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm ready to call you. I'm ready to call for your head, bro. Because I like some of these things. I'm kind of like, yo, I don't know what's wrong with him. I don't know what's wrong with him, or maybe he's so used to it, which I thought it wasn't the case last year. But I'm starting to feel a type of way, man, about bro's dominance right now and lack thereof. Pittsburgh.
You think that's just Alabama running backs?
No, I don't think it's Alabama. Well, he wasn't. I don't feel like he was running this way last year. I don't feel like he was running this way last year. I feel like he's trying to keep stopping and throwing people off of him. And I'm like, bro, you can't do that. People are so fast in the league. Like the third, fourth guys coming, bro.
Some grown
like you
ass
can't
men.
do that. Yeah, like you can't do that, bro. Like even if you toss the first dude off of you, bro, there's still 2 or 3 more there. Like you don't have that. So I don't know, man. I've been kind of extremely underwhelmed with him. Kenny Pickett had an interview where he called out dang near the entire team. We got to do better. We got to study more. We've been doing the same thing and it's not working. Bro, you need to shut the hell up. You know what I'm saying? You need to shut up. You just got the job. Right now, all you should be doing is putting your head down and working. I don't think he had the right to say anything.
You're a rookie too, bro. You can't be calling out your vets and everybody on the team.
You're a 24-year-old rookie.
You're a damn
you know
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Without
like you don't have that. You don't have that. And none of us believe that you were that dude anyway. It just kind of was the right fit for you to go to Pittsburgh for your best shot. You're not overly impressive either.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
You're a hometown kid. This was a sexy pick for them.
Yeah. So I'm not like hit that little interview clip. I was like, get what you deserve, bro. I think you're gonna have a bad rest of the year off of that. I don't think that's what that locker room needs right now, especially from you, who's a rookie at your age. Like, I don't think that that's acceptable from you. You need to go sit down with TJ Watt and get some lessons, bro.
Yeah.
Because I don't see that.
Let TJ Watt do the talking.
Yeah,
let Cam Hayward do the talking.
Yeah. You don't do that. So I'll hold that. But that, like, again, I think Pittsburgh is on a complete downward spiral now. Bale called it. They're gonna suck. I tried to give them the Mike Tomlin benefit of the doubt.
First
but
under
this
500
team,
season.
Yeah, gonna be the first. Definitely gonna be the first under 500 season, and I think they have to go with Pickett into next year. We see they made a couple. They picked up a cornerback. I don't know why they would do that when I think Bro got to get paid at the end of the year. It does suck that T.J. Watt's been out for a majority of the beginning of the year. I do
He's gonna
think
be
that
back
part.
next week.
Yeah, so I do think that part's gonna mess around, but yeah, this team is just depleted. We'll see what it looks like for Deontay Johnson, who might be a name that I think could get pulled from this team. I don't know if I don't think they paid him yet. Well, they did pay him. They actually did pay him, so he'll be around. So again, I'm saying Kenny's gonna have a bad second half of the year, but after you go up and say that, you better not have a better second half of the year, or you'll be on the replaceable list too. So.
You want to get into the Titans Texans? Derrick Henry.
Yeah, man.
219.
Titans Texans, just real quick. Clearly, this is a Mike Vrabel team. Find ways to start off ugly and just get better as the year goes on. Texans still a growing,
6 for 10.
still a growing depleted team, man. God, I said there's still some. Brandon Cooks today wasn't at practice. Didn't get traded by the deadline. And then went and made a status and said, "You keep taking my kindness for weakness. I've been quiet, holding y'all lies. Y'all gonna quit playing with my career."
Damn.
Yeah. So I don't expect Brandon Cooks to hop back on that field for Houston.
Damn. Didn't we expect Brandon Cooks to go to Green Bay?
Yeah, we thought he was gonna get traded. Everybody and their mama was like, "Just get the man out of there."
Yeah. Like
he wasn't at
we
practice
expected
today.
you to go to Green Bay because that's where it made the most sense.
Yeah, it made the most sense. So Brandon Cooks now is like he said he wasn't at practice. As soon as the deadline passed, he was like, "Y'all playing with my career." Made that tweet. You can see that mess. So you could tell now, dude who never says nothing and shows up and works every day, you did that too. So I don't I think the Texans have got a lot to address in the offseason, and I'm really starting to think that front office is starting to pay for all of their choices that they decided to make.
Mm-hmm.
So if
Deshaun Watson thing.
I thought it was going to be us, but if the Texans happen to get a number one, somebody gonna pull an Eli on they behind, and I ain't going over there.
I ain't going over there.
Hell no. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. The Colts. Good God, the Colts, bro. You're so underwhelming. You fire your OC this morning. Mark, like you fire him, you bench Matt Ryan, who you gotta pay. You're starting Sam Ellinger. You deserve every piece and part of this for booing Andrew Luck, y'all.
That's what y'all get.
Is what y'all get. And the only way the curse is gonna end is whenever you pick up your next quarterback, Andrew Luck has to go announce it, and y'all gotta all say I'm sorry. Y'all gotta apologize. Commanders, 4-4. Around where I think that they should be. This is where if Riverboat Ron has anything left in the tank, they could turn it around. He's always been a great second half of the year coach. Heineke and them, they did their thing coming back on that drive. On the Colts end, play Sam Ellinger, play him and lose. Put yourself in a position to draft a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? Will Levis will look nice for y'all. Y'all deserve Will Levis. That's who y'all deserve.
Y'all don't even deserve a DJ.
Yeah, y'all deserve Will Levis. So y'all pick him up and let Frank Wright cook with him, and we'll see how that goes. So that's what I got for them.
Cool. Niners Rams. This was a hell of a game. Typical domination of Shanahan over the Rams.
Yep.
Especially with the Rams. The Rams look as bad as Tampa does.
It's wild. And they keep dangling these same funky picks they got to trade to people. Like, nobody wants them, bro. Like nobody wants them. So I think they're cooked. I try not to do that to teams, but man, I don't think where they're at. Like this shows how important that O-line really was to the success of what they did last year.
You lost a Hall of Fame tackle and a guard.
And the people you replaced them with it's truly downgrades. So I think they're kind of stuck spinning their wheels right now. I don't think they're bad enough to like drop off. But yeah, this isn't the team. But I also don't think that this win is impressive enough for me to be sold on the 49ers.
Me either.
Like it's not like you said. It's still the limit. You couldn't help yourself with CMC. You know, the limitations wasn't running the ball. The limitations was your quarterback play and your coaching decision in crucial moments. Like that's the limitation. And those two people who the questions came from are still around. And the Seahawks lead the division. So the Seahawks is not an easy out no more. So now we got to see what exactly is going to happen over the. There's a real chance that the Seahawks and Cardinals could come out of this division. How
They
things have been
might.
going. Yeah, there's like a real chance. So I know people are hyping up the CMC performance, which was a great performance. Don't get me wrong. It's legendary what he did. And they're like, there's no Debo. Yeah, but the problem isn't when Debo isn't on the field. You said it's still when Jimmy G has to make the play. And KC made Jimmy G make the play, and he couldn't do it many a time.
There's only one football. Like, I don't care how many weapons you got. There's only one football, and there's only one quarterback and coach combination that makes that one football look like there's multiple, and that's Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes.
Yeah.
Right? You got a great coach in Shanahan, but you still have Jimmy Garoppolo. Like,
so yeah, Jimmy G he made some boneheaded decisions against KC, and you were like, yo, that dude is still in there. Like that dude is still. That's why when they were like when CMC threw the touchdown, I said they probably said, man, should we let Jimmy do it? Nah, let's ask Christian to do it this time. So,
they said, hey, you threw a lot of touchdowns in college. Can you do this for us too?
Yeah, nah. So again, I would not be shocked. Seahawks is here. They're like they ain't playing. So
that's actually the next game. Seahawks Giants.
Great game.
Smith, 2 touchdowns.
Great, yeah, absolute great game from both teams. Like I think both teams played. I don't think the win or loss changes my view on either one of them. They definitely both exceeded preseason expectations. Pete Carroll, man, great draft class. Great way to go back to being great way to go back to being your coach of yourself. Losing Russ really made this team get back to a place of where like, yo, this looks slowly like the teams he was building before. Sound. So big ups to that. Brian Daboll, man, to be 6-2 at this point in the year with the Giants, man. And to like be known as a team like that, that's what coaching does. That's what coaching does is it highlights a roster where you're like, yo, how is he doing this with these people? So like he's coaching his behind off, man. So big ups to both of these coaches for working with what they got and players buying in. And even when Tyler Lockett makes a quote like, it's amazing what you can do when you don't care who gets the credit.
Man.
Like that's stuff that you're just like, yo, like you got people who don't say nothing speaking up. And
that makes you really think about Russ, right? Like, cool for everything that you show us is great. But like behind the scenes, the fact that Marshawn Lynch said on Richard Sherman's podcast, he said, I want to reach out to bro. And Richard Sherman's like, why don't you? Knowing damn well what the answer is. He said, if I can't reach out straight to you and I got to go through your agent, I don't want to reach out to you, bro.
Yeah, I'm not going to reach out. Because you're not accessible. You're putting a distance between yourself, and that's not the way that it's supposed to be. So again, some things are coming out now, and it always tends to be that way. They kind of show the light of what was really happening. And maybe Russ really was the one in the way of Pete coaching the team the way that he wanted to coach. And I don't fault Pete because it seems like he gave Russ all that trust, all that love, and it just kind of like Russ just failed him on that end. So you know,
same thing we talked about with Burrow, right? Burrow gets all the credit, not the people surrounding him. Same thing with Russ. Russ got all the credit. DK didn't get too much of it. Tyler Lockett didn't get too much of it. Beast Mode never heard nothing. You know, LOB was they were a generational defense, so you have to give them credit. But like beyond everybody around Russ getting credit, it was only Russ.
Yep, absolutely. So
Packers Bills was a Sunday night game. Oh, go ahead.
No. I was going right there with you. Packers Bills.
Okay. Sunday night game, man. I'm feeling for Aaron Rodgers, bro.
I don't feel for that nigga.
I feel for him, dog.
I don't feel for him for the reason because one, you signed an extension. You chose to sign an extension. You chose to sign an extension to your knowledge, knowing Devontae wasn't coming back. So I don't feel for you. You made a choice.
And that your team historically never picks any receivers or skilled players in the first round.
Hey, if you see it on the video I did, Green Bay traded all their capital to move up to take Jackson Smith and Jigba from Ohio State. We're not making that mistake again. They traded everything to move up to 5 to take the Ohio State wide receiver. So I was rolling. Green Bay.
No
I don't
moves at
feel
the
bad.
trade deadline.
I don't feel bad for Aaron Rodgers. Again, you made the decision to stay. You made the decision to sign your extension. You knew Devontae was leaving, and you had the power to get out if you wanted to get out. You had an option. You signed an extension though, so you locked yourself in. That's what you did. Aaron Rodgers is a beast, but he's right. Like the front office didn't do him no favors during his tenure of investing into more stuff around him. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to make sure, you know, and granted, you can only do so much when you're trying to fill up both sides of the ball. But bro, y'all really was in position to take some wide receivers and y'all just didn't take them. So that is on you. Second, people are overvaluing the Bills. People are overvaluing the Bills, bro. Like
Bro,
we really, really, really are. Like this game was supposed to be a blowout. They got up early. People like, oh, it's over, and then the game started to peak off. And if Green Bay didn't like the tight end touchdown, I believe Tunyon got, they
mhm.
called a PI. That wasn't no PI, bro. That messed them up. They went for it on fourth down. If they would have kicked the field goal, this would have been a touchdown game. Like the analytics, y'all stop listening. Don't leave points on the field no more, y'all.
Yo,
Learn the damn lesson. Stop leaving points on the field.
you took the words
Take the
right out of
field
my
goal.
mouth, bro. So with this game, this
Yeah.
game to me, for me, was like, all right, either Josh Allen is the MVP
Yeah.
or y'all just ain't really as good as your record says you are. And this
There,
defense showed that. Jair Alexander, those corners, they not the greatest. Jair is Jair. He's going all pro, all world, whatever. They showed that Josh Allen, 13 for 25, 2 interceptions, 2 touchdowns. Josh Allen could be careless with those other receivers or with those other
he
teams.
can. Go back to week 1 when we watched the Rams game. 3 turnovers in the first half. They went into halftime down. It's just when they get in their zone, they're damn near unstoppable. Like, you know what I'm saying? So we fantasize that. Like everybody fantasizes that. They're not a stable team. They're not a stable team. They
Yeah.
have flashes. You know what I'm saying? Well, they'll go touchdown, touchdown, field goal, touchdown, like they did 27, and you're like, damn, they gonna score 45 tonight, and they don't do it.
Yeah.
They went in the Miami game.
This is
They were
everything
supposed to
that the
blow out
Rams
Miami.
could be.
They were supposed to blow out Miami. Got it handed to them. They were supposed to beat the Ravens. The Ravens choked that game more than Buffalo won that game.
Oh yeah.
Like so, it's there. There's pockets. When I'm telling people like this is a top tier team in the NFL. You're overvaluing them. They're not the clear walk away. They're not the clear walk away, y'all. So
Yeah. Power rankings to me, they're number 3. I know
Yeah.
all the power
Yeah.
rankings I've seen so far have them at number 1.
no.
I
They're not
understand
number
that.
one. They're
All
not
of them
number
that
one.
I've seen, to me, they're number 3, right?
Yeah,
Like
they're number 3.
the Eagles are up there 1 or 2, depending on how you want to look at that.
I will put Eagles 1. Eagles 1 as an entire team is clean everywhere on the field. After watching this week, I would put KC back over them,
AC
even
number
though
2. Yep, that's
and
why.
then I would put Buffalo 3. And then I would put Buffalo 3. That's the order I would do it. And I think right now, I'm extremely confident to say those 3 teams should be favorites to be in the conference championship. Like they really, really should be favorites to be in the conference championship at this point into the season. The Eagles is just too clean of a team top to bottom. So you really have to play like flawless football and force the envelope with them. And you can't because they're capitalizing more on your mistakes. Buffalo, when they just get that swing going, it's a wrap. Like it's a wrap. They can catch you. But it's gonna tire, like they're gonna tire out too. So like I would change that too. But I'm also like I said, I'm watching Green Bay, and it's all minor stuff. And if this
Yeah.
minor stuff in the second half of the year could clean up, people are gonna be like, damn, we thought Green Bay was trash. Like, no, they're not trash.
Yeah.
They're not trash. They're not getting blown out by nobody. A lot of their stuff is really their fault. They
Yeah.
have to clean up their
It's all
game.
chemistry stuff, right? Like
Yeah, it's all
there's a
chemistry
couple of
stuff.
back shoulder throws that he's throwing to like Sammy Watkins, who
Yeah.
just joined the team. You got a couple
Yeah.
other receivers who I don't even know who it is outside of like Tunyon and who else? Outside of Tunyon, I don't really know who he's throwing to. Yeah, there's Christian
And
Watson.
so the stat came up when they was playing Washington, and it was like when Aaron Jones touches the ball more or less than 15 times, the record is drastically different.
Mm.
And then that's starting to become true. So now they are starting to feed Aaron Jones more. And like one thing that I saw in this game was even though they was down, they was running the ball up the middle a lot. And Aaron
Yeah.
Jones and Dylan was eating.
They was taking
And they was like, you know
chunks.
what? maybe we do just need to hand it off. Even though it's like against our nature to spread it out and try to be quick, maybe we do need to be methodical and just kind of run it up. So I think that they're going to take a lot of that into the second half of the year. Dillon and Jones controlling the game, running the ball, and then working things in from the play. Like I said, man, that touchdown they got called back, I really feel like that was the turning point because that took points off of the board for them, man. Points that I think would have pushed the envelope for Buffalo.
Last game of the week, Monday Night Football, Browns Bengals. It was an ugly game for the Bengals. I think Joe Burrow was sacked like 5 times. Yeah, 5 times, 39 yards. I think he's the most sacked quarterback in the NFL again.
No,
Oh no, man! Myles Garrett and that defense is nasty.
they are. So they're just holding on as much as they possibly can with quarterback.
Yeah.
Like, the Brissett is a serviceable quarterback, but he's just that. He's serviceable. There's only so much you could do.
Yeah.
And he says so they're holding on and they're doing everything they can because if Watson comes back and they can pull out 3 or 4 and still a playoff spot, then there'll be a conversation. The Bengals needed this one to prevent that door from being open from the Browns down the line, stealing the spot. So
the Steelers clearly ain't getting better. Ravens seem like it's a runaway. I said this in our chat. It's their division to lose.
Yep.
And I think they're going to walk away with that. Now it's just a matter of like who's going to win enough games to go and secure a wild card spot.
Wild card is definitely coming down in the AFC to the last weekend of the year. So this is why some of these games are extremely important right now. So I think if the Bengals would have won this, it would have created enough gap for them to. We talked about their schedule before. I said that they were a 9-8 team because the end of their schedule is extremely tough. So they left a door open. They left a door open to miss a spot because I don't see them turning on and getting hot. So I know that's that.
All right, man. That takes us into mid-season review.
You have the playoff picture up?
I do. Let me pull it up. Playoff picture, if it started today, we got the Ravens and the Jets, KC, Miami, Tennessee, LA over in the AFC. In the NFC side, we got the Cowboys and the Falcons, the Giants and the Seahawks, the Niners and the Vikings, with the bye going to the Bills and the Eagles.
Man, so is there any team in here that doesn't belong?
Titans.
Titans?
Titans.
I think they're gonna just win that division pretty easy now. Or any team that's in the picture. So you don't think they're gonna make the playoffs at all?
I mean, I think they'll make the playoffs because it's like, who else?
So I would
you know
phrase
what I
the
mean?
question.
Like, who else?
Phrase the question. What team is in the picture won't be in the picture?
I
think it's the Jets.
It might be the Jets.
I think it's the Jets.
The Bills, Miami. Yeah, I think it's the Jets. Just because I think somebody in that over there by Baltimore is gonna end up taking that last spot. What's that? The 5 seed?
Yeah. So I think Miami's gonna move up to 5 eventually. I think Miami's gonna move up to 5. The Jets are gonna trickle out, and I think that's where we'll see.
Maybe the Browns.
Maybe the Browns to the bank. That should be the Bengals spot. Like if I'm looking from where projections is, that should be the Bengals spot. But I think the Jets will fall off, and the Browns or the Bengals will slip in. On the NFC side,
that all looks right to me. I mean, I see the Falcons kind of maybe finding a way to fall out. I don't think there's going to be 3 from the NFC East. Right now, we got the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants. I don't think there's going to be 3.
I think Eagles, no matter what, are going to stay 1. So I think they're going to get the bye. I think Minnesota is comfortable enough to keep 2. I do think Green Bay eventually finds their way into the latter part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I think 4 could be Atlanta, but I think Tampa's got another matchup with them, so they could win that, take a tiebreaker, and just get that spot back. I remember the year they won the Super Bowl, they was a 7 seed. So I think they still do kind of find a way to manage their way in. I'm leaning more now towards Dallas dropping out.
Ooh. Ooh.
I'm
Ooh.
leaning more now towards Dallas dropping out than I am the Giants dropping out.
I like more of
Because
what the Giants are doing in comparison to what the Cowboys are doing.
yeah, I do too. But some divisions got to get 3 teams. So I could also see both of them staying too, because the Seahawks are in there right now, and I think the Seahawks like are kind of in firm control of holding their destiny right now.
You don't think the Cardinals find their way in there and the NFC East ends up only having 2 teams?
I think the Cardinals. I would still lean more to the 49ers are in there. 49ers are 7 right now. No. I don't think the Cardinals could catch the Giants or Dallas.
You think Green Bay has a better chance of doing that?
I think Green Bay has a better chance of catching than
Okay.
Arizona.
Because I think we all agree that Jacksonville, Indianapolis, they're all
I don't
out.
think the Titans. I don't think nobody from the AFC South belongs in a competitive manner. No,
Yeah.
whoever came from the AFC South, just like I feel like whoever goes for the NFC South is a first round out.
They're
I feel like all of
they're
them
the
are
new
first round
NFC
out.
East, bro. Like,
Yeah, they're first round out. Like no matter whoever comes from either South division is a first round out. You lose to them first round, y'all got some front office firings to do come Monday morning. So yeah, you're a first round out. But I think the playoff picture is about where I'll take it.
so
Which will be funny. Which will be funny because if it was to go like this, the Chargers should have an easy way, I would assume, to get to the divisional, to then probably take an L to Miami or KC.
Yeah. So let's walk through it then. If we're starting off right there with the Jets and the Ravens, who's winning that? I got the Ravens clear out.
Ravens are doing them like they did week 1. Kill. Out of there.
Cool. Miami, KC.
I would take.
I'm gonna take Miami.
I'm taking Miami.
Yeah, I'm taking Miami.
I'm gonna take Miami.
I don't know why. I'm just gonna take Miami. I think that's one of those storybook games where you got Tyreek going back. He's going back to KC.
I think Tyreek is literally what changes the game.
Yeah, he going back to KC for a playoff game. And I think Miami has a better defense right now.
I'm gonna go to that game. I'm gonna go.
If that happens, you gotta go to that game.
You fly in and go with me.
Yes. That's far enough down the line where my coins can be saved. And I'm gonna buy a Tua jersey.
Yeah, you fly in with me.
I'm gonna buy a Tua jersey, bro.
Yeah, you fly in and go with me.
If Miami and KC play in the playoffs, I'm buying a Tua jersey and I'm coming to KC.
We're both gonna have the Chargers beating the Titans, right?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, lowest seed actually goes to Buffalo. So the Chargers will go up to Buffalo because they're 7th seed right now. So it's not the Ravens. It's not the Ravens who go. Lowest seed plays first seed. So if we both have the Chargers,
Miami, Baltimore rematch. I'm gonna take Miami again.
I will take Miami too.
I'm gonna actually take the Chargers over the Bills.
I still got the Bills.
I'm gonna take the Chargers over the Bills just because I think this is one of those situations where the Bills, if we're this far into the season, the Bills are almost counting on finding a way to play KC. They're counting on it.
Yeah.
And then they see the Chargers, and it's like, well, that's not who we wanted to play.
Yeah, I think Brandon Staley really does find a way to soil. He's pissing me off.
He has so far. So
yeah, he's pissing me off.
I could agree with the Bills. So it'll be the Bills and Miami in the AFC Championship.
I'd have to take the Bills.
Two to the Super Bowl, bro. Two to the Super Bowl.
I would have to take the Bills at that point.
To the Super Bowl. I need to
start. Crazy because I really do think Tyreek changes the game against KC because I think they try to overcompensate on Tyreek and Waddle just tears them up.
Man, and they still got Gesicki.
Yeah,
and they got some decent running backs now.
I think Waddle would just have a damn field day.
Yeah, that's wild. And we got to talk about they got the best safety combination over there with Xavier Howard. Like, you covered across the field. There's no stopping Kelsey. I don't care who you are. There's no stopping him. But if you're able to hold him.
Yeah.
So Buffalo in the Super Bowl. It sounds like I'm cool with that. I ain't even gonna argue with it.
Yeah.
Dallas, Atlanta.
I'll take Dallas.
Yeah, I think Dallas wins that. New York, Seattle.
So because this game will be in Seattle again,
Mhm.
and I gave my toss up that game to home team, so I would take Seattle again.
Seattle, yep. San Francisco, Minnesota.
And take Frisco.
Yep. So that takes Frisco over to Philly. We got Frisco and Philly.
I'm taking Philly. I ain't trusting Jimmy G in Philly.
And then we got Seattle versus Dallas in Seattle.
Nigga, I'm taking Seattle.
Yeah, I'm taking Seattle. Seattle, Philly in the NFC Championship, man.
And that's what me and Seth and all of us fly up to you to come watch a game in Utah. Watch the NFC. I'm taking my. I just get that defense is too much, and I got to take Philly on that one.
Philly. So
Buffalo, Philly.
This is pretty much what they're talking about. The so-called Super Bowl favorites right now. Buffalo, Philly, Super Bowl.
That'll be wild. Oh God.
Philly's my team, but like taking away from my fandom, I'm gonna go Philly just because Philly's defense is what it is, even when hurt. They lost Jordan Davis. They stepped up.
I think this will be the first defense that could like push Philly up front.
I can see that.
Milano and Edmonds would give Hurts a field day on anything he wants to do, trying to run the ball. So it will really become a. It will really be. I think it'll turn into a. It will turn into having to let that thing go at the end.
Because I mean, we're gonna see like it'll be a Slade Diggs matchup on the outside, Gabe Davis versus whoever else is out there. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, Maddox. It don't matter. Somebody out there. I think our D line is better than their O line, but Josh Allen is always the difference.
Yeah.
Wide receiver. I mean. Wide receiver battle, right? A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith, Kes Watkins against their DBs.
Playoffs though, man.
He does.
Like, I know he had the Minnesota Miracle, but man, he folded twice here in KC. Kind of like with an overall performance.
Yeah.
But Gabe Davis is always finding a way to get open right now.
I don't know how. This man just 60, 70-yard bombs
right now. But this guy. I just had a flash. This will be a game that Von Miller would teach a lesson. And
I forget Von Miller's over there, man.
Von Miller don't lose in Super Bowls. I hate to say that crap. You, Von Miller, I hate that guy.
Go Eagles.
Yeah, I hate that guy.
Cool. Any last thoughts on this?
No last thoughts. I mean, no. It's good. We'll see. We'll come back, see how the playoff picture updates week by week. I don't think what's going to happen over the next week or two would change too much on that. But I think when we get to like week 12, we'll start to really see it weeded out.
Cool. MVP race, man. Give me 3 people right now in the MVP race, and then your dark horse on the outside looking in.
Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, and then my dark horse would be Geno Smith.
Ooh, I like that.
Geno Smith.
Allen Mahomes, Hurts, Geno Smith on the outside. I'm not even going to disagree with that or change the order of that.
That's the order. Allen, Mahomes, Hurts. Like I said, I think Hurts get his passing numbers up here when they possibly can, spam them up. I think that's the only thing when we get to the end of the day. I think Hurts has to have like 28, closer to 30 passing to kind of call it there.
They got to finish 15-2 in order for him to be heavily in that conversation.
2 wins and about 30 passing. Should make it clear, almost irrefutable. Like you just can't argue that. But Geno should be on the outside looking in. But like I said, we really have to consider Tyreek if they become this team that they're supposed to. Really have to consider Tyreek. So
cool, very very clear and quick MVP race candidates up to week 8. Week 9 pick'ems, man. Let me throw it up on the board. We'll start off with the Thursday game. Short week for the Eagles. In Houston, I think this could be potential trap game for them, but I think they do come out on top. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
No, got the Eagles winning. I would hope that on prime time, this will be a game that if the Eagles was really trying to push that agenda to run the TDs up, you ain't got to do it special. Do how KC did, cheat, couple goal line touch passes, run up the passing touchdown numbers. Instead of handing it off, just hey, tap it. So just go as a passing touchdown. Just get your touchdown. So
14-point favorite. Chargers Falcons in Atlanta.
I'm actually gonna go with the upset here. I'm gonna take Atlanta.
Damn.
But I'm not gonna call it upset because they're at home. I'm gonna take Atlanta this week.
Chargers are a 3-point favorite. I'm gonna go with the Chargers. I think the Chargers find a way to figure it out. I think they're gonna be without Mike Williams for a couple weeks. I don't know if Keenan Allen is 100%. Terrell should be back.
Yeah. So I think that's gonna help give a boost, and I think they might run a little bit of a hot hand here.
Terrell going with the Eagles and the Chargers. Cool. I'm right there with you. Dolphins in Chicago, man. I think Cousin Tua continues to be undefeated this season.
Cousin Tua shows out. Cousin Tua shows out. Cousin Tua shows out this week. But no, I'm not gonna say it. Cousin Tua shows out, but let's see what Claypool does. Let's see what Claypool does and how he helps the Bears. So I think Claypool is gonna get a good amount of red zone packages.
Yeah.
Hey, go be big, bro. Go be big. Go be 6'4". Get out of there.
Cousin Tua, yes sir. Panthers, Bengals. Bengals are favored by 7. They're still going to be without Jamar Chase. I'm going to go to Panthers with this one. It ain't because you're on here. I'm going to go with the Panthers.
I don't want to go us. Even though I really believe we go us, I need to be where I need to be in the draft lottery. See what I'm saying? Like, I need to be where I need to be in the draft lottery. But really, I think our D-line will kill their O-line. I think our O-line will manhandle their D-line. But again, there's only so much PJ Walker can do. So much PJ Walker can do. And I'm still going to give credit to the Bengals defense at home after losing to the Browns. Still going to give credit to the Bengals defense. I think, PJ Walker can only do so much, bro. He really, really can.
I'm going to keep it a buck with you, dog. After I seen what this fool Nick Chubb did to them, Deontay Foreman is not Nick Chubb. But that D-line is buns against the run.
Yeah.
So
I will tell you this. If we win this game next Thursday night, we play Atlanta, which could mean if we beat the Bengals and then we beat Atlanta, we'll damn near be back in first. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it almost gives me a false sense of hope because if we beat the Bengals, then I'm gonna want to beat Atlanta because I'm not gonna want to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna want to waste a pick. So I said, but again, I told you, Matt Rule is gone, baby. Nothing can mess his season up. You can't mess the season up for me, no matter what.
He had 3 years of this.
Yeah. You can't mess this up for me. So the only reason why I want to lose is for draft capital. But I do believe we can go into Cincy and win.
Packers Lions.
I think Jeremy Chin should be back this week.
Okay.
My guy's been out. He better be back when we go to Baltimore. I'm gonna whip somebody behind.
Packers Lions.
Packers Lions. Told you, Lions is focused. We need Lions is focused. Lions wants the number 1 pick.
It's gonna be 28-14 going into the half, and then the Lions are gonna be like, "Hey, DeAndre, your ankle hurting again?"
The Lions will be up 42-3 at halftime and lose 45-42 at the end of the game. The Lions is gonna do everything to make sure that they keep their pick. You know what I'm saying? The Lions is going to do everything in their power to make sure that they keep their pick. Green Bay gets back on track here.
Dan Campbell is the one coach exempt to firing next year. He is exempt. I don't care what happens.
He's exempt. So listen up, Jacksonville and Oakland fans. Do something else on Sunday. Don't watch this game. Go do something else. Go find a hobby, y'all. Find a hobby.
Jacksonville, Oakland. Oh my gosh. It's going to end in a tie, bro. I ain't even going to pick nobody.
Yeah, tie. I'm okay with that. Tie.
Colts, Pats. In Foxborough.
Patriots. Sam Ellinger, rookie quarterback, going against Bill Belichick. Bad mix.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to go Patriots.
Bad mix.
Jets, Bills. They're going to be in New York.
Bills by 6,000.
Damn.
Josh Allen runs it up.
They're favored by 13.
Yeah, they're going to win by like 28.
That's tough.
Zach Wilson's going to throw hella picks. Said he was going to throw 3 last week. He's going to probably do 4 this week.
Washington Commanders versus the Minnesota Vikings.
Still in the weekend, baby. Riverboat round time. Commanders pull it out.
Yes, sir. I see that too. I don't know why Heineke was. I mean, yes, I understand y'all got wins, but why?
I don't.
You got a hell of a quarterback in Heineke. What are you doing?
I really don't understand why he didn't just run it back with Heineke and not give up capital for Wentz. Not like nothing against Wentz, but I was like, yo, just give the man a chance. Like he be clutching up sometimes.
Let him ball out. He's not
Yeah,
scared to run and knock somebody over, bro.
yeah. I got Commanders.
We already
Commanders
talked
pull
about the
out.
Raiders, Jaguars. That's going to end in a tie. Nobody watched this.
Yep.
They're 0-4 on the road. They're going to be 0-5, or they're going to be 2-5-1.
Yeah. Neither team. Both teams should tie. Both teams should go and do the coin toss at the beginning, and winner of that can win. And just go home. Don't even wear pads. Don't even wear pads.
Seahawks Cardinals is going to be in Arizona in Glendale.
Oh, Cliff usually finds his way with Seattle.
They're favored by 2.
Who? Cardinals?
Yeah, the Cardinals are favored by 2, over under 50.5.
I'm gonna go Seattle. I'm gonna go Seattle. I think Seattle's got it rolling. I think Seattle's got it rolling.
Man, for the sake of all my Seattle Seahawks fans, friends, I'm going to go with the Seahawks too. I do think DeAndre Hopkins tears them a new one. I don't think it's probably going to be like a field goal game, to be honest with you.
Yeah. I think it is going to be a field goal game.
Rams, Bucks, 2 teams that only have 3 wins. One is 3-4, one is 3-5. Going to be in Tampa.
Ooh, man.
These are 2 teams that really suck right now.
I really don't know who to pick.
I'm going with I think Cooper Kupp is going to be out. I think he got hurt. He might be
I'm going
out
with the Bucks.
this game.
Yeah. I'm going with the Bucks.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Bucks. I think who's your number 1 receiver now? Allen Robinson? And he butt.
Yeah. Going with the Bucks.
Titans 5-2 against the Chiefs in Arrowhead.
Andy ain't falling off a bye week, no matter who it is. Kansas City.
Yep, I do still think Derrick Henry goes for like $150 though.
Yeah. I think Malik Willis might be quarterbacking this week. So
yeah, he's a quarterback the rest of the way.
Spags is gonna treat him like they did Jordan Love. So I think it's gonna be very bad. I think it's gonna be bad for Derrick Henry. Spag tell Derrick Henry the last couple of times there's some pretty bad numbers. So I think he's gonna make Malik try to win this game, and I don't think he's gonna do it.
Cool. Baltimore, New Orleans. Baltimore's favored by 3 on the road against the Saints.
I'm not
got a
supposed
good defense. They got a good defense.
I'm not supposed to pick the Saints. But but like I feel like what they did last week might have brought them down the level of what they should be doing. Instead of trying to do whatever. But I mean, how many more games can you expect Kamara to get 3 TDs the way he did? I'm gonna give Ravens a win. Ravens to win.
Yeah, I'm gonna give Ravens a win. And I think this is gonna be one of those games. This is gonna be one of those games where Lamar's gonna be like, all right, cool. Let me do it one more game, and hopefully y'all figure out like y'all need to pay me, please.
Yeah. So Ravens.
Cool. Any all money in games that you would go and put all your money on outside of the Chiefs? Outside of the Chiefs, because we already know that's an all money in game coming off a bye week. Andy and Pat at
Speaking
home.
of, I need to see what that line is. I'll take the spread.
46.5. KC's favored 12.5.
I'm not taking 12.5.
Yeah, that's a lot. All money in game.
Spread.
The Dolphins spread. I think it's only like 3 points. I think on the road.
Oh yeah, hell yeah!
It's
I'll
5.
take 3.
5.
5. I'll take 5. I'll take them a touchdown. I'll take Dolphins.
That's actually a good one.
Yeah, I'll take Dolphins a touchdown. Easy.
All money in Dolphins touchdown.
Anything 6.5 low for the Dolphins game, I'll take that.
Cool.
I'll take that.
Man, I was gonna say Eagles, but it's 14, and they like to let their hands off. They like to let their foot off the gas in the second half. Cool. All money in game for the week. Cousin Tua on the road against the Bears, 5.5. Take the spread, y'all. Take the spread.
Definitely take 5.5 for sure.
Cool. That was the week 9 pick'em, man. Real quick, we're gonna wrap it up with the NFL. We're gonna get into the NBA. What's your impression so far this season? I think we're like 7, maybe 8 games into the season, depending on what team you're looking at.
Yeah. My first impressions is what in the hell is going on? God. Utah 6-2. Memphis losing back to back to the Jazz. What is going on out here in these NBA streets, man? It's crazy. You know, we usually try to hold back on how we review teams for like the first 10 games, right?
Especially this early, yeah.
Yeah, so like if there's some things I could say we said was right, but I think it was like common knowledge was kind of like, okay, Luka's front runner for MVP.
Mm-hmm.
Trey looks Atlanta and DeJounte Murray are coming down to earth after starting so well so early.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Trey's numbers like efficiency, I guess they're not that good, but he's still able to he's able to play off ball.
Yeah, he's able to
That team
coexist
is
with a
very
DeJounte Murray.
he's able to coexist. Well, I think any guard, I think people just bottled him in. It's
So I agree with the Luka front runner MVP.
Yeah.
But where they're at right now, 3-3, I think they need to at least be a 4 seed in order for him to get an MVP.
Nah, they do. They do. Jokic, bro's a beast. Jokic's a beast. Teams that I've been able to watch on my own, Warriors, being able to see them again, I just think they're kind of slow playing maybe I like to say they're slow playing some things.
Yeah.
But I really do think Draymond is about to be up out of there. And I never wanted to say it before, but like I said that if one of them was to leave, it would be Draymond, but it really looks like they can coexist basketball wise. But I think Draymond's
making him look so expendable.
Yeah.
Bro.
I also
And
praise
Wiggins.
God that they decided to take Wiseman instead of LaMelo, because that's looking like beautiful on my end. That Wiseman just isn't seeming to become too much of, what he was probably projected to be.
Yeah.
The Spurs getting some dubs out here.
5-2 right now.
5-2 right now. Portland doing their thing right now.
Revenge tour.
Very, very early. But I think the part that's messing me up the most is a lot of teams that we had in the playoffs right now towards the bottom of the standings. And again, we don't overjudge the first 10, 15 games, but some of these games are going to come back to bite some people, because you're going to need some of these games when it comes to last year in the East. The play-in teams were 43 and 44 win teams. In the West, they were 43 or 44, 36 and a 34. Like there was a gap. In the East, there was no gap. There was 44 win teams
Every
and 2
win count.
teams. Every win counted. So this beginning is going to hurt some of those guys who we are going to expect to pick up their games towards the end of the year. So
Bucks still undefeated, sitting at 6-0.
Yeah. So like the Nets got offered their Matt Rule, you know what I'm saying? Right?
Steve Nash, no longer the head coach.
And then ran to Ime. Like they didn't even give no breathing room, bro. It's like when you're on, like, you remember back in the day you were on Facebook and then like you said in a relationship with, and then you broke up with them, and like 10 minutes later you post a selfie with a new girl. Like, oh, that's the hoe that broke it up. You know what I'm saying? So you're like, yo, that's wild, bro. Like you didn't even give it no breathing room.
Man, injuries getting scary for Kawhi. So one of the biggest things, and I never was gonna say this out loud because I never want to wish injuries on anybody. We always say that as a TTE group, we never want to wish injuries on anybody.
We want to see good basketball.
But man, I think the Kawhi thing is turning into the Clay thing. His knee ended up with his Achilles, and I think, yeah, cool, you worked out your quads and your legs look great, but man, you still gonna be overcompensating someone, like somewhere. I think it's starting to play out for Kawhi. He even has to come off the bench to start the season because he wasn't fully trusting in his legs.
Yeah, so Clippers had I didn't think Clippers would be number one because they were one of my top contenders, but I just knew like during the season they were gonna have to deal with rotations, injuries, and stuff.
Yeah.
So they were a team where I'm just like, yo, they're just trying to cripple themselves to the playoffs.
One of my favorite teams right now is Portland, man. Shaden Sharp. This man, obviously, it's a sexy one because his vert is out this gym, but man, his ability outside of his athletic ability is great.
He was getting boo-booed on so much in summer camp because he was the high school kid who left college early and said, I'm just gonna get ready for the draft. Had a bad performance in summer league, and everybody was so ready to write him off. And I stood by my stance was, you're not going to start to physically be around Dame every day and not start to work.
Yeah.
And I believe that was the case. Anthony Simons is a product to me of being around Dame who shows up and works. And that man is balling. I told y'all know I got my love for Dame and for Portland because I told you loyalty wins, baby. So like I believe that.
Get that man
so
a chip.
Yeah, like loyalty wins. So I would love to see Dame lock one in. the same way that Giannis was able to get one. And right now, I said Dame could solo teams off of him. So we'll see how that goes. But let's see how Simons continue to goes. Let's see how the rest of the NBA starts to pick back up. But man, I know last year we talked about we think we're starting to enter the transition of the league and how the league's gonna start. And I think we might be starting to entering the middle of that mess of seeing how the league is going to change.
Oh yeah, calling for the Blazers based off the start. I wouldn't say I'm putting them up there. I am saying that I really like what I'm seeing because Dame
Every
is your
year,
closer. When you got Anthony Simons who can give you 25, 3 rebounds and 7 assists, you got a Josh Hart who every team needs a Josh Hart. I don't care who you are, every team needs a Josh Hart. You got a Jeremy Grant who you needed to compensate for some of that scoring that Nurkic wasn't giving you. Now Nurk ain't got to be the third option. He's now the fourth, maybe fifth. So when you get into games and you down 5-7 going into the fourth, it's Dame time.
Yeah.
Dame time, period.
Portland with a healthy Dame has always been a playoff team. I think people are like, I think that guy always got undervalued. The man's really the most clutchest player solo in the NBA, bro. Like he really has all the clutch moments of taking out consistent teams in the playoffs. And he's, he hasn't had it's up to players having to step up too. But, some matchups he was just outmatched. I think Portland is a playoff team, not a play-in. They're a playoff team, 6 seed and up. The problem is when they match up, they're even when they match up to Clippers, Denver, Golden State, they're usually outcoached and like the depth is usually lacking. So we gotta hope that towards the end of the year, Shaden Sharp and Jeremy Grant, and you said Nurkic, all these guys, they find that cohesiveness to help alleviate some of this stuff that really works out down the line. We'll see how Billups does with the guys down the line too. But man, we know if you put Dame in the clutch moment with Portland, he's usually going to come out on that side of that. But when he plays these other teams that's been superior, he ain't even had the moment to be clutch because they just be blowing them out and getting the best of them overall. So I definitely do think Portland, even come Bala hates Portland. He always tells me he hates Portland, calls Dame trash. Playoff team, I think they're a second round team easily, just off the strength of Dame. Definitely have to evaluate the rest of their roster as the year goes on and making sure on their end health and Dame's health. But Dame hasn't been a hurt guy. I really do think he could have came back last year, but he said, I'm not coming back if y'all want to tank. Yeah. They set that man out. So they were like, nah, you just stay out there. So
one person I'm glad is getting a chance this year, and I've been on this train, on and off this train over the last few years. Bo getting a chance over there in Orlando.
Yeah.
This man is finally got a coach that believes in him.
Yep.
Finally getting the minutes. I think he doing work. He doing work.
They are. Yeah, they doing good. They're looking for Boncaro, looking like a beast. Very aware of everything going on the court. Very clean, man. So now it's just figuring out what guards up there can help their lineup. I know. I told you I like my man Franz Wagner, y'all, but he don't need to be bringing up the ball trying to initiate. They don't need to be bringing up a ball trying to initiate. Find y'all the guard that's going to initiate, bro, and can break stuff. Y'all don't need Boncaro. Y'all don't need Bo. Just because these guys can dribble don't mean they need to be starting and initiating your offense, bro. They can't do that. That's not sustainable. But I also understand y'all are only working with the best of what y'all got. So why not try some things out? So I get it, man. I get it. Magic are definitely exciting to watch. Houston, God, man, I'm trying to age on them. The fact that like they was arguing on the bench and Eric Gordon was just over there chilling, like kind of just phased out was just funny as hell to me.
That Houston team to me is just like you got a bunch of vets that want to go somewhere else. You got a bunch of young dudes that's like, I need to stamp my name in this league. Yeah. And then you got the other dudes that are just like, man, what's my role? Because I need to know that so I could play that. Like, tell me.
Exactly.
I love Detroit. I don't know why, but I love Detroit. Jaden Ivey. These rookies this year, man, as a whole. The rookies stepping into the, who was it, Mathurin?
Yeah, Benedict Mathurin.
Who else? Over there in Jabari Smith.
Keegan
Murray. You said we're in the middle of that transition, and I think we're seeing that with the skill of these young guys. Obviously, we got to see if they can sustain an 82-game season.
Yeah, that's why I just said when we get to, when we get around Christmas time and they get to taste the holidays and have to come back on the road and stuff like that, we'll start to see how they maneuver and function and take care of themselves. These guys aren't used to this long of a season, so we'll see how that happens.
I love the
But
Pelicans.
right now,
I love the Pelicans.
yeah, Pels are here. Pels are here. They're here and they're ready to make a push. The Pelicans are definitely here and ready to make a push for sure.
Hey man,
Like,
I'm glad y'all got Dennis Smith Jr.
yeah, man, I've
Somebody
been
giving
screaming
this
for my
man
guy.
a chance.
I'm so glad he's here with us. I can't evaluate the Hornets no more because it's like the D-Hop situation. I'm glad that our best player is out right now because we need to see what everybody else could do. And Dennis Smith is like when I can confidently say Dennis Smith is gonna be the backup point guard, like bro, that gives me so much confidence. Bro plays on the ball, like he's locking up on ball, he's facilitating the offense, he's keeping everything moving. We ain't played with LaMelo. We played 2 games with Terry. Cody Martin ain't been playing. That's 2 starters and an important rotational piece that's missing.
Yeah, 6
So
man.
a 6-man. Kelly, because once he comes back, Terry will start. Kelly will go to the bench. Cody and Kelly and Dennis will be the first 3 off the bench with Nick Richards. That's what I'm assuming. And that I'm gonna be excited for. But I think right now they're just like the Browns. We're spinning our wheels until LaMelo can get back. And I think as long as the Hornets are winning and staying around 500, they'll keep LaMelo out as long as possible.
Yeah,
Because when
100%
he comes,
healthy.
100%. Like they'll keep him out as long as possible. So I like Steve Clifford. I like what they're doing over there. PJ Washington, man, he had a very bad game against Orlando, but he came backed it up with 2 30 pieces. They were up on the Kings last night, but that whole game, I was like, man, they about to soil this because it's just like we're playing with so many. Gordon Hayward, he's clearly shown he has a limitation now. He's got 25 great minutes, and then that's it. So that's it. He just got to do that. He's got 25 great minutes. He's going to start your game. He don't need to be on the court in the third quarter, take his behind out, couple minutes, start him in the third, take him out. Because 3 times now we try to have Gordon and Mason on the court to finish the game, and it was just so incapable. And I was just sitting there like, well, that's okay, because when LaMelo and Terry are here, Gordon's going to be off somewhere else off ball. Yeah, Gordon will be probably off ball because he's great off ball, but you're not supposed to give the ball to him and tell him go get you a bucket. It's not his job. Terry is the closer. Terry's the closer. He's the one who gets the last shot. So I just know we're spinning our wheels until LaMelo was able to go.
Yeah.
I know he's not playing tomorrow night against the Bulls. I was hoping that we could see him Saturday against the Nets. But again, I know as long as we're floating around 500, they're going to make sure that he's 100%. So there goes my all NBA odds with him, though, because if you can't make all NBA if you're going to be out for 10, 15 games. It's just not enough.
What's your ceiling with the Hornets fully healthy?
6 seed, top 6 seed.
6 seed, yep.
Yeah, top 6 seed. I don't like top 6 seed for real.
Lakers, man.
Last year we was 43-win team. You know what I'm saying? We was an ugly 43-win team. And I be asking people why y'all act like we was like a 26-win team? Like we were a 43-win team. The Hawks last year won 43 games. The Nets 44. We was just ugly as hell the way we did it.
It's not hard to say y'all not gonna win 46-48 this year.
No. I don't think 46-48. I'm not gonna lie. The way things are going, they're not. Again, it's early. I think if we had to do 46-48, we probably had to steal 2 of the ones we dropped already. But I do think with Clifford, I'm a hope. We had a phase before the All-Star break where we went 2-9. You know what I'm saying? Right before the All-Star break. And that messed up everything. We came out the All-Star break hot and got right. So I'm hoping with Clifford, these dudes is playing defense. We don't have to avoid going through these long slumps like this.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That he can manage them. But I do think they should be a 6 seed. But there's Clifford knows Kupchak hired him for the reason he's not allowed to tank. The man was hired because he's supposed to take us to the playoffs. So we got to get to the playoffs.
We'll finish with the Lakers, man. The Lakers. Russ coming off the bench. It's a little weird for me. It's where he belongs. Is coming off the bench for this specific team. I do still think Russ is a starting point guard somewhere else, anywhere else.
Yeah.
But on this team, he got to come off the bench. The only thing that troubles me with that is now you look at the bench, you look at the depth of this team, and you got Pat Beverly starting. You got Lonnie Walker as your 2, Bron Brown is your 3. You throwing in anyone at the 4 right now. Juan Toscano Anderson. You throwing Troy Brown at the 4 or the 3. Brown at the 4. AD at the 5. The thing that's troubling me right now is we're guard heavy. Right? We still got to create some minutes for Austin Reeves. And then we got Kendrick Nunn, who don't fit anywhere on this team right now, especially with Russ coming off the bench. Because now where do you put him at? At the 2? As a off the guard 2?
Yeah.
You still got to play defense, man. And Kendrick Nunn is not a defender.
No.
So for me, I'm kind of looking at this team. Do I still think we'll find a way into the playoffs? Yeah, because it's Bron. Right? But every single game, and I can't believe I'm saying this because I was so hell-bent on believing in this dude. I think AD and Russ got to go. Like, we might have to find a trade partner for AD, and you might need to send Russ with those picks over to the Pacers and be like, cool, Miles Turner, if you can come over here, if we can find a way to go get Buddy, take these 2 first picks, take Russ.
Yep.
It's the only trade
I've
right
never
now.
seen a player promote himself for a trade like Miles Turner did.
This man, he went on a podcast, on the interview, and he said,
I've never
they
seen
pay
that.
me to shoot. Come on, Lakers, take a hard look at that.
I've never seen that. That's crazy. That's crazy. But I would do it. If I'm them, just do it. I don't know why you're trying to hold on to it. Like you have a window. You just gotta dive in there. See, I do agree.
For 2 years and an option.
I think Russ coming off the bench, that's just best for what the team offers right now. So again, that's why I said it's crazy, because a lot of these teams who are fighting, who we expect to be in the playoffs, are fighting from a deficit right now to get back there, and they're gonna look back and be like, damn, we're missing some of these games that could have affected seeding so much.
Brooklyn, Miami,
Yeah,
Dallas,
a lot of
Golden State, LA Clippers, the Lakers,
yeah.
We'll see, man. But this is how the season started off last year. The Wizards went on a run. They was killing it the first quarter of the season, and then they kind of balanced out. So, any final thoughts, man? NBA, NFL?
Nah, good, man. Glad we locked everything in. Be back, working to get some extra things out for everybody. Outside of the live. Just happy to be back and get this done.
Cool. Keep an eye out for some pre-recorded videos that y'all should be seeing coming out here soon. That way we can keep these a little bit more around the hour, 30-minute mark for our NFL talks. NBA is a little bit more sporadic. 82 games. Look for some pre-recorded stuff from us. We'll catch y'all next week, same time. We back on the schedule. Yep. Y'all take it easy, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe. We out.
No.